Okay, so run us down.
I'm going to go through everything here in a minute, but the big ticket item is the ventilation. The ventilation ducting in the crawl space. Insulation's off of most of it, and some of it's half buried, and so I'm pretty sure it'll need to be replaced.
Okay.
That's probably the big ticket item. Everything else is very minor.
Okay.
And so
what do you think that kind of repair involves? Or, I mean, and I know you're not an HVAC guy.
I really don't know, and I haven't had this conversation with anybody before.
Okay.
So, and even where so underneath the furnace, right in the hallway, that's where everything comes together. And there's usually a distribution box there, so all the airflow goes down, and then all the ducting connects to this box and then goes out throughout the house. Well, that box looks like it's sitting on the ground too, so that might need to be replaced.
Okay.
That's like I said, is that everything else is, there's stuff, but it's all very minor stuff. There's a lot of the tree branches and stuff on this side of the house touching the roof. And so, not a big nail now, but wind blows, the roof is relatively new, looks pretty new. It'll wreck your roof real quick. So all that stuff needs to be trimmed back.
Trim it back, yeah.
On the front right corner of the house, there's a gap in the soffit, between where the soffit and the fascia meet.
Mm-hmm.
It could probably be filled in with caulk or something like that.
Okay.
That's a very minor deal. There's some minor damage to the vinyl siding around various places. You guys probably saw that. It's pretty obvious. So the electricity comes in from it's overhead, and this I think is on PSO.
Mm-hmm.
There should be 18 inches of separation between the roof and that line, and it connects right to the edge of the roof. So PSO might just say it's fine, it's not a big deal. And the only time it would be a big deal is if you were playing around on the roof but technically it should be 18 inches.
Okay.
But that's not a big deal because I don't think it's going to be any expense to the homeowner, because PSO or whoever the electric provider is responsible for everything to the meter, and this is before the meter.
Okay.
So the ground to electrical ground the post is very wobbly, and I can start to pull it out of the ground. It needs to be done properly. It should be 8 foot in the ground, and it should be very solid. I shouldn't be able to pull on it and move it around.
Okay.
That's a pretty minor thing too. The electric panel with all the breakers is in the garage. It's missing 2 screws. Should have 4 screws around it. 2 of them are missing. We talked about the gutters, the pitch. So there's a lot of water in the back, and the gutters themselves look okay. It's just the pitch. They need to be in the right pitch so the water runs to the downspouts. I also noticed a little bit of that over on this side, but it's bad on the back.
Okay.
They're pretty full on the back side.
Yeah, it's caving in, and you can see,
Yeah.
we came here before it started raining a couple of days ago, and on the roof line you could see the water reflection. So
Yeah.
there was water sitting in there before it started raining this past few days.
Yeah, and absolutely.
And it's lower.
And it's not a big deal. That's easy to fix, but it needs to be fixed. If you don't fix it over time, it'll start wearing out the fascia, and then it'll get to the soffit, and over time it'll be bad. But right now it just needs to be fixed. It's not a big deal. Up in the attic, there's a couple different spots. There's junction boxes where wires come together that there's not a cover on it.
Okay.
Exposed wires is essentially not a big deal. You're not going to be up there sticking your fingers in it, but it should have a box on it.
Okay.
I mentioned the access to the crawl space. There's not really a cover there. There should be something there.
Okay.
Garage door, the resistance test failed. I should be able to stop it with my hand, but that's easily adjustable.
Okay.
So the air conditioner is over on the right side of the house. A couple things with it. The conduit where the electrical wires run, it's displaced, so it's not connected. So you kind of see the wires. It's not a problem today, but over time it'll probably turn into a problem. The other thing with that is there should be insulation around the copper pipe that runs. It should be insulated all the way to the furnace, and it doesn't look like you don't see it on the outside. And when I was in the crawl space, I didn't see the insulation around it either. That's just an energy efficient type thing. The air conditioner will run a lot better if that's all done properly.
Okay.
Other than that, it's not a big deal, and it's super easy to do. That insulation to put around the pipe is real cheap and easy to do.
Okay.
So in the hallway closets, there's the furnace and the hot water heater. Both, you can see a pretty good hole cut in there. That's for the venting of each. But there's a professional way to do it, so it's pretty clean, and there's not. The way it is now, you have unconditioned air from the attic that has easy access into the house. So you can either fix the ceiling or seal these doors up.
With like some weather stripping type
Right,
stuff
but
too.
the problem, if you look at the doors, you got about that big of a gap at the bottom, so you need to seal that up too. So it might be easier to fix the ceiling. And it's not like a hazard or anything. It's just that you're gonna have
Inefficiency,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Yeah.
So I know Alec was concerned about kind of some of the cracks between the bricks and like ants going in. Is there a barrier between?
Yeah, I talked to him about that. Those
Okay.
those holes are called weep holes, and they're there for a reason.
Okay.
Moisture will get behind that brick veneer, and it needs to get out. That's the way it gets out. And
Okay.
ants are going to crawl in there.
Okay.
You can spray for ants.
Yeah.
That's the solution.
I mean, yeah, and I told him like this house probably has not been pest controlled in several months at least, so.
And you did like a termite inspection too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see any signs of termites.
Okay. And pests?
I put this door, the latch on, it's not working.
Okay.
I didn't see a smoke alarm throughout the house.
Yeah,
We probably just didn't put them in.
Yeah, we saw that too.
The chimney, if you guys are going to use this to burn wood in, I would recommend having it cleaned.
Okay.
I see there's creosote buildup in there. If you're not going to use it, it doesn't matter. The chimney looks super clean on the roof. They did a good job flashing around it and everything. I mean,
Okay.
everything looks fine here. There should be a hearth that comes out, but with the tile floor, that kind of suffices. The gas is not. They might have a different plug. It looks like the plug. What's on the end of that is just an open pipe. There could be a plug on there, but
Okay.
it appeared to me that the gas isn't working there.
Oh, okay.
In this far left, or my left,
Bedroom or bath?
bedroom, there's one outlet in there that doesn't work.
Oh, okay.
And I tested, usually in houses I just test a few here and there, but as soon as I find one that doesn't work, then I test them all. So I tested pretty much every outlet. That one outlet doesn't work. It could be as simple as a loose wire. Take the receptacle out, tighten the wires up, and it'll probably work. And the reason I say that is because there's no reason to believe that there's any issues, because all the other ones in the house seem to be fine.
Okay.
Underneath the bathroom sinks in both, there's, which is commonly seen, that it's just not real. If you had a plumber do it professionally, it would be solid PVC pipe. It wouldn't be this flexible pipe. It just creates the, hair and stuff get caught up in there easier. The water just doesn't flow through it. It's fine, it's functional. I mean, they sell the stuff at Home Depot and people use it. But it's like I said, it's not a big deal, but just know that kind of slows the flow of water and gunk down the drain.
Okay.
So there's a GFCI. So I'll mention this. The half bath. There's not an electrical outlet in there. So if you want to curl your hair, blow your hair, that does not exist. And that's not totally uncommon.
Yeah.
You could probably pull electricity from the light. You could probably put you could do that, or you could have an electrician install an outlet. The hallway bath has a GFCI in it, but it doesn't work.
Okay. It's not tripping and.
It doesn't even. It's like it's an open hot, meaning that there's not electricity there. Could be the same thing as that other outlet I mentioned. It's just not tight. A couple of the doors are binding, like that hallway bathroom, and there's one of the bedroom doors are binding as well.
need to be shaved down a little bit, or
Yes.
just yeah.
In the hallway bath, the faucet needs to be secured. You shouldn't be able, I can kind of pull on it and wiggle it around.
Okay.
I showed that to Alec. He was there, and
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Right. Just
Smoke alarm. I didn't see any carbon monoxide detectors either, so there's probably not any of those.
right.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Any other
So,
questions?
and this isn't, of course, this is just in your opinion. So, if they're buying this house kind of in as-is condition, which they are, it doesn't mean that they have to take everything on that report and they can't ask for something. But knowing that that's kind of the approach, we're not going to ask for all the little things going in. What, if anything, we go back to the seller with in terms of, hey, we really need this addressed? Would it be the ventilate or the piping or tubing? What did you call it?
Ducting.
Ducting. Thank you. I was like,
The
what's the word?
HVAC ducting.
The HVAC ducting in the crawl space underneath the house.
I would, if I was buying the house, I would want to know what that was going to cost me because I don't know.
Okay.
And I would just prepare to replace, if I was going to do it, and that's me, I would probably just replace it all unless the HVAC company got in there and said, hey, some of this is in pretty good shape, it doesn't need to be replaced.
Okay.
But there's portions of it that I think need to be replaced.
Okay. So we just need to get an HVAC company out here to do their own inspection. We do have some time to get that done. Okay.
Yep, and I would say everything else, especially if they're kind of handy, they can do some things on their own. All the other stuff is very minor.
Okay. Especially, okay. Thank you so much, Richard.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.